He's like 7 o'clock. I got it.
I all of a sudden have to run around the house.
I like when we're. There you go. I like when we're neither in it.
I like when we're neither in it too.
Like neither one of us. It's like hello.
Hey.
Hello.
You just get our sound. No. No.
Our comments.
Yeah. What are we even talking about? I have no idea.
So this is normal Thursday. Every time I come up.
Have some stories.
Okay, good. I do. No.
Every time you what?
Every time I try to make a topic, I feel like it sits there,
We never go.
and then I go, okay, I got a topic going beautiful, and then it's like
we have a topic, but not the same topic, and then
yes, and
we'll
then
do neither.
We'll do neither. Or I always feel like I have a topic when we have like, oh, I can't wait to tell you. We're gonna wait for the podcast. I'm not gonna tell you the story, and it's like we're not gonna get to the topic. But then it's like you'll look at me like I don't, nothing happened. It's like, oh my god, do you have a topic? I'm like, no, I haven't looked. It's like I haven't seen it in years. Oh, Ashley waves. Hey.
I was at her house.
Were you?
Yeah. Today?
Were you?
I took
Nice.
a barn for her.
Oh, so you were there without your sister?
Yeah. I show up sometimes.
She's like, I smell
It's
her pillow.
fault.
I smell her pillow. I miss sis.
No, I go around judging.
You like open it. She like opens up the refrigerator like she's eating that, closing the door.
I smoke so much weed. I eat like shit. But I'm judging you because I know you're not that way.
She's like, and I don't flush.
If it's yellow, let that know. Gross.
Gross. That is gross.
No, that gets flushed. You know what pisses me off? I'll tell you later.
No, go ahead. No, I know. In this podcast, we don't do that. Come on, tell me.
Kelsey will like blow her nose and
right.
put the tissue in the toilet.
Okay.
Instead of the trash can that just.
But is it the tissue or is it a toilet paper?
Tissue.
Okay. I didn't think you were supposed to flush tissue, especially in the septic.
Sewer.
Oh, your sewer. Okay, that
so
does. It does make a difference. No. In Portsmouth, there's not, and I know there's certain parts of Warren that does not have sewer. So I didn't know. And you're like, I don't know either.
Because I don't do it. Oh, she said the same thing.
What is what?
The tissue's not good.
Yeah, thank you.
But
it's bad when her and I are the same page.
But her dad did it too.
Okay.
So she picked up from him.
Right.
But
that's usually what happens.
Instead of just like flushing the toilet when you're done with it,
she just leaves it.
She just leaves it, so it just looks grody in there. Like, just it's fat everywhere. That's how mad I am. Just throw it away. At that rate, you may as well just throw it away.
Okay. This. Wow, I'm gonna do this. I actually agree with Kelsey.
You just leave it there?
Yeah, if it's in the toilet, just floating. Now, if I blow my nose and I have to say when I've been sick or I have a bloody nose or I have or you have that sore in your nose because it's the weather changing, it's too dry or whatever, and I blow my nose and I get that little blood snot. I know that's gross, but and you kind of put it in and it looks like nasty and like, oh my god, it looks like an abortion in there. I gotta flush that flush the toilet. If it's just AKA clean, it's just tissue. It's just floating.
Yeah, but that's gross.
But you're going
to me, that's like.
But whatever you're going to do on the tissue, it's not going to splash nothing on you.
The thing is, I don't want to do what I have to do on the tissue.
Why?
I don't know. It's just like in my brain that I don't like it.
Because I would. Okay,
that
here. This is where. Okay, this is where the sick me comes in. Okay, I would rather do number 2 on a tissue so the water didn't splash up and give me that little kiss. I'm like, no, don't do that. Then not do it because it's just clean tissue.
Okay, we're different people.
I know.
Okay.
No, I know.
To me, I don't like it.
Right, so you would want to flush. And I get it. I'm not anti that. Now, if she had gone to the bathroom and then blew her nose and threw it in and left it that way, I'd probably been like, "What are you doing? That's gross. That's gross. Flush it. Like nobody wants that water splashing on you. Like move along."
Why did we talk about that?
Because you said it was bothering you. Because you said this is what you do at your sister's house. You blow your nose and throw it.
But how did we get there?
Because we were talking about you taking a dump at your sister's house and not flushing. And then you went, if it's yellow, it's mellow.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I feel like I'm going through the whole thing for you.
I wasn't there.
I wasn't there. Missed it completely. She's like, I just hit the on button. Oh no.
I had a girl
Okay.
come in yesterday.
Okay.
I went to high school.
I'm
Oh
so-
my god!
I told you. I told you to do this. No one's heard you. So for you just started.
I told you I wasn't here. Okay, I had this girl yesterday come in.
The funny part is, I was like, don't forget your microphone. Yeah.
I didn't hear that. I wasn't there. The worst part is I'm not even high. This is just me.
But when I get high, I get super focused. So
Sometimes.
Yeah. You had this lady.
Yeah, she came in. I went to high school with her.
Okay.
And she's one of those.
So you're an adult. She's an adult. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't say lady.
Right.
'Cause
Because you okay.
Like your
when I
dad.
describe somebody,
Your dad is still a kid to me.
yeah, because you're like the same age.
Because we're the same age,
Yeah,
and I cannot. And I don't know how your dad looks at me, but I always look at your dad as that first kid that I like in 5th and 6th grade when we first met.
Yeah.
Like and then in high school with his hair. Like I always see that.
Yeah.
Even though I know he's completely different between having facial hair, he shaves his head now. Like everything's different, but yet he's just one of the kids. Even though we're almost all 50.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard when you're like, oh, I went to school with her, and then you're like, this lady. I'm like, is that a lady? Like,
Well, that's why I said this girl.
Yeah.
Because I feel like like lady is like
for someone older.
Yeah.
Older than
me.
Yeah. Out of your.
Okay, I would
age
say
group.
lady would be like 50, 60 higher.
My age.
Women would be like 30s to 50, like that range,
right.
and then girl would be my age and younger.
Yeah. Okay, you're pushing the girl, but okay.
Yeah, but
yeah, I get it.
I guess like
yeah,
young,
and then
I would say
older
kid.
Kid. Yeah,
but like,
I know.
like
Yeah,
a younger kid.
Yeah.
But like when I describe things, that's what I just said and action. But anyway, so this girl comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Went to school with her.
Okay.
We got that far. Anything you want to chime in yet?
Were you close with her, or did you like? You? Because I'm like I was close with your dad, so it's like when I see your dad or Pat or people like that, I go, I know you. And there were some kids that like I'd see it, I'm like, I knew you in high school, but I didn't know you. Like,
so we were in homeroom together. We had a couple classes together, but I wouldn't say like we never hung out.
Yeah.
Like outside.
You
of
know
school.
each other. You respect
we were
each other.
School friends.
School friends. Perfect. Yeah. There is a thing.
There was never like
no one wanted to go over, come out. Yeah. But it'd be like,
well, this girl
hey,
was like
up?
into like heavy drugs and stuff like
Yeah,
that at a very young age. But
you had to wait till you get a little older.
Yeah.
Those Polly Pocket clothes with as far as
Yeah.
you would go.
So did you go to school there? No, I didn't actually. Actually said, whoop, I'm almost a woman.
Wait a minute, what? Whoop, I'm almost a woman.
No, you're just a girl.
Just a girl in the world.
I feel like you'll be just a girl until like I die.
Well, yeah,
because we're that close.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she called maybe like 2 weeks ago to make an appointment, right? But I told her she needed to come in for a consultation because I didn't know who this person was at first. And she calls, gives me her entire life story about her hair, which I'm telling you, she talked for 5 minutes straight, and I didn't get a word in until the end. And
That's
I was like,
being with me.
and she's kind of. No, because I get to talk with you. But so she's like saying like how she used to go to somewhere else and they like did this like treatment on her hair for her curls and whatever. And then like went on to like what she wants to do, like entire life story, you know. So at the end I was like, okay, first of all, we don't have that. Are you still interested? Yes, I'm still interested. Okay, this is what we can do, like all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So she makes a consultation appointment for last Wednesday. And I was like, can I just have your name? And she says her name.
Right.
And I was like, wait a minute, do you know who I am? And she said, obviously not, because
you're just talking.
Yeah. And I told her, and she's like, oh, get the fuck out. Like, that's so crazy. We should, here's my number. Yeah, instantly best friends,
Like, this is what I hated about getting out of school. And I feel like we don't do this anymore. But this was a big thing. What's up? How you been? What's going on? Oh, no. Got to give me a number. We got to hang out. We got to hang out. Yeah, all right. Thinking to myself, like, bro, we weren't, like, your dad was a different story.
Yeah.
I remember being at our reunion and him walking up and saying, no, we were really good friends. And now we're going to be good friends again. Yeah. And I remember him being very adamant, like,
he's just waiting for his next reunion.
Yeah. And being like, let's go all out. And then it was like, give me your number. You're invited over here. I want to see you. I'm going to call you, like not call you, text you. And, like it was one of those moments where you felt like, okay, you really want to rekindle our friendship. Mm-hmm. Compared to, oh, man, how you been? And they get your number and you know it. They're never going to call you. Mm-hmm. And you're never going to call them. Right. Because as much as you want to see them, it's not, it's
just like a little awkward.
Yeah, it's like, we weren't that close of friends.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple of kids that, there's a couple of kids, I know it is, that I bump into, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? And he's like, hey, Niles, how you been? Oh my God, and I haven't seen you forever. And they give you a hug, and he's just thinking, like, I think to myself, like, dude, I probably talked to you like 20 times in our high school year. Not that I ever hated the kid, or I actually liked him, because I remember talking to him a few times and like talking to him, but I never hung out with him. I never joked with him. Like, I never did anything like I did with your father, Pat, Dave, or, like certain people. And it's like, and they see you and they're so excited to see you. And you're like, okay. Like, I don't know why you're so excited to see me. Like, what do you think I was dead? And,
could have been.
And the one thing I will say about this guy, which I want to give him props to, he's one of the few people that you see on Facebook that become your friend. And the worst is when the people you become friends with walk right by you and you go, okay, but you're friends with me on Facebook. And you didn't even say, like, I'd be like, and they walk by and you're like, okay, I'm not going to say hi. Like, you put up your hand like to say hi and they just walk right by and you're like, and I hate that, because then it becomes like, then are you just nosy? Are you just on Facebook because you knew me, or you want to say you knew me? Like, I don't know. I get kind of weird by that. Yeah. Because I don't ask people to be my friends on Facebook. I let people ask me, and I say, okay, fine. But I just get like, like I don't, and I really don't care. Like, there's a few people that I'll see out and about, and I'll just be like, I'll say hi to, and they just kind of say hi, but it's a hi and bye. I have no desire to because I know
I don't even say hi to people. I'm like, oh, I know you.
No, that's only with your dad. No. I'm
gonna stop by. Abort.
I don't know why, but your dad lives in that part of the neighborhood on the island that I feel like I go, oh yeah, I should stop by, but I don't really go that way. Like, I go with Mount Hope. Like, I'm like, I don't ever go. And then when I go the other way, I catch the highway by the high school. So I'm like, I'm really not going by here. Like, I am, but I'm not.
And you have to like make an effort to.
Yeah, you really got to go out of your way to kind of be like, because I always think to myself, what am I doing? Knock on the door. I was in the neighborhood. Really?
Yeah. Why?
You were in the neighborhood, like
for what?
Like, what were you doing here?
Swimming? Like, come on.
Were you boating? Yeah.
You in pop-up school?
Okay, I'm still traumatized. I ate Joey, and now I'm traumatized with the whole. I can't look your father in the face and be like, "Yeah, it was a one night thing. It was horrible.
It was a couple night thing. And day with your kids. That's just weird.
Random women, random men."
Anyways,
Good.
so she's like, here, like, you can feel free to call me and text me like different ideas of what you have, whatever. And I'm like, bitch, I haven't seen your hair yet.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't do anything for you.
I
So Wednesday comes around, and
the big day.
she didn't show up. So I texted her. I was like, hey, you coming or what? And so she was like, oh shit, I thought it was later or something like that. Oh no, she thought it was for the next day. And I was like, well, I can't do that time tomorrow, but I can do this time. Perfect, I'll be there.
Thursday comes.
And she's like, oh, I thought it was later. Like at 1:30, like the day before it was 1:30. Any way that you could do that? And I was like, no. But I could do tomorrow at this time. So she's like, cool.
So it's
Friday. And I came home. No, I came home. I'm doing stuff. She calls me. And I was like, hey, what's up? It's 12:29.
Afternoon, night. I'm sorry, I've lost track of what time it is.
Afternoon.
Okay. No, I just lost track.
12:29 in the afternoon. Like, okay. I just come home.
Okay.
She's like, hey, I need the address. I was like, first of all, if your appointment was at 12:30 and you're asking me for the address now, fuck you. Second of all, you called me first. The address is when you look at the salon phone number.
Right.
Third of all, why today? You know? She was like, I'm gonna be a few minutes late. And I was like, oh, it's for tomorrow. You know that, right? And she was like, tomorrow? Oh,
I'm super busy tomorrow.
I thought it was for today. And I was like, no, girl. I forgot you were telling a story about this client you went to high school with.
That's what happens when you get woman age.
She's not there yet, though. Almost.
So she's kind of losing.
She's on the cusp.
She's forgetting where we're at.
Right.
She's still totally involved with the corn. She's watching one thing at one and going, how did the procedure
go? So she's like, okay, I'll definitely be there tomorrow.
Right.
So Friday comes. She comes in.
Okay.
But
3 hours early.
No. I was finishing up with the person, my person beforehand, and the other Karen was there. And so she's like, oh, you can have a seat. And when I come out of my room to the waiting room.
I just want to know, is that what we call her?
It's the other Karen?
Like, it's Karen, your mother-in-law, and then it's Karen, the other Karen.
Well, when I'm in the salon, I point.
Oh, okay, no.
This Karen or this Karen.
Okay, all right. No, and I
but when I'm telling
rudely,
a story,
I just like I always feel like other Karen. I was like, is other Karen just other Karen?
Depends on who you talk to.
Yeah.
Because if I'm talking to Karen, other Karen's customers, then I'm like, oh, the other Karen. But when
it's like, oh, my
it's very confusing. We gotta like think of other names, but you know.
Because they both have the same last name too, so that's even.
Yeah, it's just fucking weird. So
we can't call them by their last name.
No.
Thank God, my man. I feel like every man in the world would always, if there was two, like in my day, and I know they still did it, so I'm not saying just my day, but I remember when being a kid, if you had like, because we always had two Johns, two Steves, you would land up.
We're not original.
Like, you know, you would start calling them like, you know, their last name.
Yeah.
Like we had like, you know, and we just didn't call them like that kid by their last name. It would just be like, you know, there was like 2 or 3 Garys, I think. And there was a point there where I remember like a few kids called him Jeffords. And I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, what's his last name?
Who's that? So I walk out of the waiting room, or I walk into the waiting room. And this girl is on the couch with her shit everywhere, like
just relaxed,
just like fully like everywhere. Wow. And I was like, okay, nothing has changed because that's just how she was.
Yeah.
And I finish up with my person. I bring her back, and I'm telling you, she talks at volume 500.
I talk loud too, so I'm not. I get it.
But like, you're quiet compared to
Compared
her.
to her, yeah. Well, that says something because I'm loud, constantly. You know what? Very embarrassing moment, and I have to interrupt you. Shannon last night told me I had to bring it down a notch because her phone was saying it was too loud.
Damn. Yeah, my watch is saying that too.
I'm out. No, she was on because we talk on speakerphone.
Yeah.
Because she works, and I'll play like my game, and she's like, and we were talking about something, and I got heated. Like I was really into the debate of it. Like I really got into it. She's like, Niles, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know why. And I got really like,
yeah.
And she's like, you're so loud. I just got a notification by my iPhone saying that I have to turn down the volume because it's too loud.
That's crazy.
And I went, oh, but I can do that because I can't hear myself sometimes.
Yeah.
So I get louder and louder. And if my big thing is if there's too much noise in the room, I just keep getting louder and louder because I hear myself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay,
here we go. It's gonna go crazy.
Ashley said, honestly, the other Karen helps me keep track of who you're talking
about. I know.
At least she speaks at an even volume. I both agree would be unacceptable. So like I do the consultation. Right. She leaves. Karen and her customer. Sorry, other Karen.
Totally was like a squirrel. I was like, what? What?
They both look at me like,
wow.
Yeah, she's like, holy shit, she can talk, and why is she screaming?
The Karen's like, Jesus heard him.
I think Karen heard him, and she was in Georgia.
The Karen, not other Karen.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I was clearing it up.
The Karen.
I guess. It's when she said that was my phone. I was like, wow, and I can't hear myself, so I do. I can. And the louder things are, the worse it gets for me.
Yeah.
Especially if the TV's on or something's on because I can't hear myself. So it gets louder and louder and louder. Or if I get real passionate about something, like I get really like, I have to say like that argument stage. She goes, why are you yelling? And I go, this is not yelling. And then I go to yell. And she's like, okay. Because that's what happened one time. I go, I'm not yelling. I might be loud, but I'm not yelling. She goes, you're yelling. And then I started to yell, and she's like, "Oh, so there's large? Like you go to 10, and there's more." And I was like, "Yeah, I go up to like 100. Yeah. Like I'm loud, and you think it's loud, totally. Yeah. But I have like more numbers that can go up."
So this girl makes an appointment for last night.
So did she make an appointment that day with you? So okay. Before she leaves, she makes an appointment.
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
Damn, I blame it on the kids for talking during the lesson. It must have actually been Jesse's claim from high
school. He's like, kids. The kids are like,
we haven't been talking.
Why are you guys talking about your hair?
Well, yesterday was kind of a shit show for me anyway, so it was just like, of course I'm going to end my day with her. But I was waiting for her to come in. I asked her to come in earlier, so it was kind of like just waiting for her to show up if she could.
If she could.
Well, because she...
Yeah, I get it. I'm being funny about it.
So I was downstairs talking to the Karen and her customer. And she was like, oh, are you done for the day? And I was like, no, I'm waiting for this last person. And when she comes in, she's going to be... Right. She's very chatty and she's loud, so just warning, whatever. Right. So she comes in, she's like... screaming, you know how 503 is what her volume was, and she was in my chair for 3.5 hours.
Whoa, because there was that much work to do. Okay.
She got a balayage, which is like foils.
Okay.
And
a haircut. Man here. I was like,
I know. That's why I was like, witches. A haircut. She got it toned on top of that, and she has a lot of hair, and like I had to straighten it to cut it and stuff like that. So she comes in and she gives me her entire medical history.
Oh, that's the worst.
And she
No, that's the
apparently has been
worst.
through everything.
No,
And
no,
it's like,
that's the
okay,
worst.
great. And
I
I'm
c-
just like, yep. Trying. I had a migraine before she started coming in
Oh,
too.
no.
So now she's at 503 and
I gotta tell you
medical
something.
issues. Wait, hold on. And so, okay, actually, go ahead.
No. No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
So the customer texted me. It was like,
So
I
she
wish I had
left.
my phone.
She left and then text you again. Well, the phone's on there.
No, I know. No, she texted me. Like Karen's customer texted
Oh,
me.
the Karen customer. Okay,
The
sorry.
Karen's customer texted me, like, "Holy crap, you're right. She's very chit chatty. You're gonna need a quiet night or something like that."
Yeah.
And then Karen text me like the big wide eye emoji, and the two of them just kept walking by my room like like holy shit. Because like like I said, her volume was so loud that like they heard everything that she said. And then like everybody left. It was just me and this girl, and she just like kept going and going and going. And then she finally left, and I was just like,
Two things I never get mad at.
Mhm.
You're getting too loud. I never get mad at that. I get like, I'm sorry.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I know I can do it. So and the worst thing is when I get loud and then have to be quiet,
now you're
I
so
feel
distracted. Like,
so like I'm whispering.
yeah,
I'm like, and the weirdest thing is I know exactly where I go to. I usually go right here, and I'll be like, "Can you hear me?" She's like, "Yeah, that's normal talking." I'm like, "I'm whispering right now." She's like, "No, you're not." I'm like, "This is my whisper. This is my whisper right
yeah.
here." Like if I had to whisper something to you, this is. And she's like,
Oh my god! Stop doing that.
Shannon goes, "That's why everyone hears your secrets because you're
True though.
because this is whispering to me. This is whispering because I feel like I'm being really quiet right now and no one can hear me."
I do feel like you're like just too quiet
Yeah, because I
because I
talk.
know that you're
Because
so much louder than what you.
I'm at 7 usually. I'm just saying. So a lot of people like by the time I get to that 10, 11, 12, you're like, God, you're screaming.
Yeah,
But I'm not. And I'm like, that's just me being a little bit louder from 7.
yeah,
But so we're sitting there and Tom and she she goes, "You don't get mad." I said, "No, I don't get mad when someone says because I know it's a fault that I have and it's happened throughout my whole life. So it's just like I accept it.
yeah.
Like so I don't take it personally anymore." But the other thing, there's something I can't handle. I can't take people talk about their medical history. I feel like that
Yeah.
is like the least like I don't want to know. Like unless you come in and you hurt your like you oh what happened you hurt your leg like oh you hurt your hip like we had a
Mhm.
customer who had like a back and hip surgery so he walks very and it's like ooh he's like oh I've had 3 surgeries on my
Mhm.
hip. I get it, but when they start going and you're just like
Okay.
I went to the hospital, this happened, I just think like I don't
I don't care.
I don't care, like I'm here for A,
Yeah.
I'm not here for B, besides the this is how I feel. Ooh, what happened to you? Okay. Oh, it was a nightmare. I hurt my back. I was in the hospital. They screwed it up, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You want to tell the story after I ask, but if I don't ask, I don't really
Yeah. Yeah.
like. I don't really care,
Yeah.
and I feel like someone always has to be like in a
One
thing,
up. Yeah.
oh yeah, and I'm like yeah, because I feel like we did that. What was it? It was like Bill and your dad. I had surgery here. And it's like, okay. I'm like,
I know.
I was in the hospital for 3 days for a bad back.
Ashley said if I wanted to know people's medical history, I would have gone into the medical field. But this girl kept saying like different things, and she's like,
Now, if she said, "Hey,
"Mhm.
I got put in the hospital because someone bleached my hair," and I got allergic to it and I didn't know it, and I
Yeah.
was in the hospital for 3 days because I got burns or
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Thank you for
Then
telling
I
me
would be
that.
like, oh, well, that makes sense why you're freaking telling me
Yeah.
because I need to know this because I was going to use a B product on you,
Yeah.
and this would have been a fucking mess.
Yeah. But she would say something, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you know that from high school." I'm like, "No, I don't. That was like 10 years ago. I'm past that. I don't even. I forgot about you until you showed back up in my life."
That's the other thing I always feel like. Um, there's some things you like. So, oh, you remember, and I'm like, yeah, I know you, but I don't know you. Like
Hmm.
I know you. I remember seeing you in the hall, but I don't know who that. Like I
Right.
really don't
Right.
know who you are. A great example. I knew your mom, but I didn't know your mom
Yeah.
until that
Later.
night
Yeah.
after after that reunion, and then I got to know your mom, and now I feel like your mom is my family.
Yeah.
But in high school, I didn't know your mom. I didn't know
Right.
your mom. I remember your dad going like, "Oh, I got a new girlfriend," and I remember this is my girlfriend type of thing. But I don't remember her kind of hanging out with us or
Yeah.
like being part of. But I also was a senior, so senior life is so different than
Yeah.
every other life that you're going through in
Yeah.
school. And
Well, and I only knew this girl like in homeroom,
yeah,
so I don't know your like outside life.
yeah.
I know you did drugs, but that's pretty much it. Like that's
Or I used to hate that because there was a kid that I knew and it was like, oh, trying to think what I won't say his name, but I remember I used to think like, oh, this guy is blah blah blah, and then finding out, no, he wasn't that. He had family problems.
Mhm.
Like his dad was abusive or his mom, someone was
Yeah, yeah,
abusive in his family, and then I found out he wasn't doing what I thought he was doing,
yeah,
and then it was like, oh, this is not this is a bad kid, but not really a bad kid.
yeah, yeah,
But I made judgments because he was a bad kid at school.
yeah, yeah. No, I get
And
it.
it's like, oh, well, didn't you know that? No, no, I don't. No, I. Why would I know your personal
Yeah,
unless I sat and talked to you? Which, and half the time in my day, we didn't sit there and talk about our problem. Like there was no, hey, my dad does this. It was like,
yeah.
I'm living my personal hell. I get it. You're living in your hell, and we never thought about
Other people.
other people
Yeah,
for
yeah,
some reason. It's like it was the way it was.
yeah,
It was your mom and dad.
yeah, yeah,
Like this is what I got. Like this is it, and it was
yeah.
you know, I don't remember a lot of that stuff. I remember just kind of being like, oh, and then then you got to know the person, and then you go, oh, I get the situation. Like, this isn't you, this is the whole situation. I had a really close friend for the longest time. He just passed away. And he,
No, my dad's alive. I hope.
um,
Pop Pop's still kicking, as far as I
no,
know.
I had another friend. I actually was very close with him when we were younger. I used to sleep over his house when we were younger. I'd probably say middle school. And we used to hang out, bowling alley, do tons of stuff. And he lived with his grandma, and his grandmother died before we graduated high school. And his life, and then I actually I don't remember the exact time, so I could be off. I feel like his grandmother died, and then our friend Joe died, and he just
Fell off.
he just fell
Yeah.
off, and he started living life real stupidly. He landed up breaking his back and then being in a wheelchair
Mhm.
almost the rest of his life because he acted like each day was his last day after Joe, and that was his attitude was I'm going to go, I'm going to live life to the fullest, and if something happens to me, screw it. But I don't. When you live that way, which sounds amazing, but you don't think that you can do something and still be alive,
Mhm.
and it just felt like his support system just broke down because they his closest friend and his grandmother passed away, and it became like this. Started doing drugs, started because what else do you have to do? Like when you're handicapped, not that you have to do it, but it
Yeah,
becomes
yeah.
like that downward spiral.
Mhm.
And and he passed away not that long ago, and I remember being like, and I remember bumping into him and be like, hey, and it's so awkward, like like because it was like the last time we saw you, we were kids running around and in a wheelchair now, and I'm
Yeah,
living life the greatest, and then you're like, but are you? You don't
yeah,
look like you're the greatest, like.
yeah.
It's real tough, and that's what kind of it breaks us. It breaks me, and like that person. I'm sure there's a moment where you just go, "Wow!" Like you feel bad, but not the way you should feel bad, because you're just kind of like, "You're a lot. How do you live? Like, how do you get through the day?"
Mhm.
Because if that's that way for you, other Karen and other clients, other
Yeah.
Karen, and like, what does she do when she go in the world?
Mhm.
Like I always think the same thing. Like I
Yeah,
always think meeting me for the first time is horrible.
yeah,
I always think to myself like, oh God, people must be like, God, he's so loud and obnoxious. And I go, yeah, I get it. I'm loud. I don't know how to fix it. Like if I could have fixed it, I would have fixed it. But I definitely don't talk about my medical.
Well, I feel the same way, but the opposite with the opposite for me because I don't talk.
Right.
I'm a listener. Like I don't give you anything when I first meet you.
Right.
I want to know everything about you, but this I'm like they're like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, I don't know, nothing. Whenever I have somebody in my chair, like, oh, what's new? I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, I go to work every day.
I find myself downing myself a lot. I down myself. I bring everything down. Like I have friends who will text me and be like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, going to the podcast tonight." "Oh, you have a podcast?" "Yeah, with my niece."
Yeah.
"You have a niece?" And I'm like, and they're like, "Oh, this is so cool." And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "It's stupid. It's us talking. It's just nothing. It's nothing that's gonna make us famous. It's just us. I think it's for us."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No, I'm gonna watch it." And then instantly, I'm like, "You're not." But I thank you.
Yeah.
And then the worst thing is when you go on YouTube and it's like one view and you're like, I told you we're going to watch it. Like, like, don't say it to me because I think that's hurtful. To me, I don't like being lied to. Mm-hmm. I'd rather get the smack in the face in the very beginning than deal with it 3 days later.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I find that I get more mad when it's 3 days later than it is right then. I'd rather be told straight out, no, or no, but I'll think about it, than the yes, oh, no.
See, for me, I'm just like, you don't have to watch. That's okay.
Yeah, like, I don't really tell anyone.
Yeah, I don't tell anyone either.
But there's always that, what are you doing on Thursday? I'm like, I can't. And I don't lie, so I said I have a podcast. You know what I mean? Because I feel like if I lie and they see me on something or I'm like, yeah, it's on Facebook. It's on YouTube. What on YouTube? I'm like, it's fine. We just talk about stupid shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, really, I want to watch it. And you're like,
we should not call this a podcast anymore.
I don't know.
It's like a video diary.
Or a blog.
I guess I'm a blog.
And I just get like, oh, okay.
Do you know what podcast stands for?
No.
Hold on.
She's like, I have something so dirty to say. Do not say you threw out that not knowing the answer.
No, I do, but it just escaped my brain. So, hold on.
Am I not talking loud? I'm so glad you're going to look it up.
Because I heard it the other day. Oh, it's podcast.
Mm-hmm. Because it was on an iPod. Oh no, I went with that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the portmanteau of iPod and broadcast.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
I heard that
figured that
on a podcast a couple weeks ago, and I meant to bring that up a couple weeks ago because it was on a Thursday that I heard it, and I was going to say it on the podcast. But
the only thing I will tell you that I feel what's happening right now, and they'll be like, "Oh, what kind of podcast do you do?" I'm like, we try to do topics, but it ends up just being us talking, and I said half the time it's just us talking, being like, being best friends. It's funny, like just laughing. And I said, and if you're in that sense of humor, you'll totally enjoy it. Yeah. If you don't, then you totally won't.
Yeah.
And they're like,
feel free not to watch.
So what do you guys do? And I'm like, I just told you what I did.
Yeah, we just talk.
And they're like, well, tell me some of the topics. I'm like,
her vibrator, Pop-Pop's pool,
shitting in her sister's toilet, not flushing, smelling her pillows.
Yeah,
I miss you.
So weird. I actually can't think of any of our topics at the moment.
I'm always like, it's okay. No, really, I want support. And you're like, and I feel like the more they push, the less I'm like, no.
We only have a topic and stick to the topic if we really don't want to talk about what just happened in our life.
That's kind of what happens.
Yeah.
I feel like when there's things that
shouldn't
be opened up.
Yeah.
We get like,
it's like personal.
Yeah, too personal.
Yeah.
Like too personal.
69 cents for lice. That's what Ashley said.
Yeah, good one.
The low way. The kid Jesse went to high school with. The other Karen.
What was that one with the giraffe? We had one with about giraffe. Can giraffe swim?
Oh yeah. That's definitely it. That's for sure.
We had a few.
I don't know. We had a bunch of good ones in the beginning.
Yeah, we got. I keep wanting to do another state one. Like that was so much fun doing states.
All right.
She don't have to look back, and she's like, I'm looking back. What's Ashley's favorite?
We did a lot of like reviews in the beginning.
Yeah, which we
Like
freaking.
movie reviews.
You know what the hard part was? Friggin' watching the movie.
Yeah, it was.
It was like, oh, I gotta watch this movie again.
Yeah.
I don't
And actually
remember.
pay attention to it.
Like, yeah, you know,
Because I watched it already. Why am I paying attention?
the worst
again?
part was I was like taking notes. I'm like, because I don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not gonna remember this
Yeah.
because I've watched it so many times.
Yeah. Oh, we did some.
I like the game show ones. Those are
Oh
always
yeah,
fun.
those are fun.
I love when all of us was all of us, like Sam, Joey, Shannon,
We gotta do that
Kelsey.
again. I just saw what it was, but then I lost it. Oh, like the serial killers.
Yeah, that was fun doing those little topic things. But
I
I like
when I
those...
used to say sorry to grandma, but she never watched.
Yeah. Sorry, Grandma. Yeah. It's just, and I always go, no, it's just a thing. We just do it. And they go, who do you do it for? And I say us. And then as soon as I say us, it's like, oh.
Eluding a cop 25 miles.
Oh,
an hour.
that was the story of me getting
Yeah.
arrested.
That's
Oh,
one
it's
ugly
horrible.
clam. What's that one?
That was the only thing.
Molested by a stink bug. Oh my god, that's stink bug! Oh my god, where the fuck is Chili? We still don't know what that is.
5 hours later.
Not. I think next weekend they go back to the same time zone as us. Like
Oh,
same-
yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Do they have hour change?
I don't understand. I don't understand. Okay? This is fucking bullshit. I don't understand why we have a
You're
fucking...
at 10 and you need to bring it to 5. My other customer is over here looking at me like...
Okay,
No.
you want me to have this fucking time change?
Yeah.
Why aren't we all on the same page then?
Oh, yes. Oh, no, I can tell you why. I know why. You don't know why?
No, I don't
Okay.
care.
Why? Okay.
It should just be together.
We changed, not the world.
We have changed.
No, we...
I'm still a girl though. Not quite a woman. Couple more years. Far away from
Hold
the
on.
lady.
We're getting off topic. The almost woman already forgot what we're
I know.
talking about.
Oh wait, hold on. Time zones, Lincoln and the Titanic. I don't know that I have a favorite at this point. It's more specific moments that make me laugh really hard.
Yeah. But what happened really? The world got on this.
He took the spot. This is really
Got on this on the time differences, like summer and in the winter. And then what happened is America decided to kind of go, okay, we're going to do it 2 weeks later and 2 weeks earlier, and that's why half the world's on one time, half the world's on another time.
okay. So either get rid of it or be together. That's what I'm fucking saying.
I'm a firm believer. I think this right now, this time,
perfect.
this just leave it.
There's been a
All
study
year. Yes.
that
Arizona has wintertime all the time.
yeah, there's been a study of like how your life would be if it was like this all the time in Arizona all the time.
Right.
And people said, or the study showed that it'd be better if we're stuck in like what we're in now.
Right.
Opposed to the other one.
Right. And I'm
here for it.
I just think that
Let's pick one. I don't fucking care.
I
I'm tired
get
of
it.
changing.
I get why they do. I get it because you get the most hours. But I just don't feel like we all live that way anymore. Even farmers don't live that way because we
Right.
have like
Electricity.
machines. We have customers that can
It's the
talk.
title of this episode. I'm almost a woman.
I wanted it to be Ashley's almost a woman.
We run the world, girls.
You know how many people are like Ashley's almost a woman? I need to. What is this? Oh, nothing about Ashley. Oh.
I'm a dangerous woman. Anyways, what were you saying? I have no idea.
Ashley's almost a woman.
Yes. Couple more months.
She's blooming.
Her dirty woman.
Dirty. She's a dirty.
Dirty 30 becomes a woman.
She's blooming.
She's blooming.
Yeah, she's a beautiful flower that's blooming. You're like, oh god. You ever hear that? Oh my god, I remember grandparents used to say that about girls. Oh my god. And it was supposed to be when you're going through puberty. She's a beautiful flower and she's blooming.
Ew.
And I was like, ew, ew, ew.
Ew.
And then when you watch.
But then, dude, never mind.
No. And then so now I'm an adult.
Yeah.
And
now you're wilting.
No, I'm an adult.
Somebody's about to water you.
Do you remember that big thing? I don't remember how old I was.
Big thing.
But it was like
you don't?
A woman made flowers out of pictures of vaginas because she said when she looked at a woman's private, it made her think of flowers. Yeah. And then I have to think of those old women. Oh my God, she's blooming. I'm like, it was like, you know, when you're like already uncomfortable, like, and then someone has to tell you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that made that phrase 1,000 more yuckier than it used to. Like, I remember being like, flower.
I'm sorry,
what kind of flower is that? Like, I've never seen a flower like that. And then when this lady's like, oh, and I go, is that what they meant? I'm like, ew, gross.
And you get deflowered.
One more year.
And wilt. I can't wait to wilt.
I want my petals to fall off.
Yeah. Is that like when you get wrinkles? Or is that when your limbs start falling off?
I don't know. What?
I thought the saying was 30, flirty, and thriving. Apparently Jessie thinks it's going to be disgusting.
Well, she does shit in your toilet, doesn't flush out.
No, I meant like
she's dirty.
not like cleanliness, but like dirty. Like
when's the last time you cleaned that?
You know how it's like dirty 30?
No, I don't even.
It's so like when you go out drinking and like being like a slut and whatever.
And your 30s?
Dirty 30 is like you go out and party, like say goodbye.
Because in my day, it was in your 20s, and then you just be like, I was in my 20s and I was drunk and I'm ready to settle down now, and because I slept with half of Rhode Island, and you were like, but I was drunk, so it doesn't count. So that's what Ashley has to look forward to in the 30s. Yeah. Is that what your dirty 30s? She's like, no such thing. Can you imagine that? You're looking at
when a woman reaches the age of 30 and becomes an insatiable nymphomaniac.
Oh, there you go. Oh, look, it's something to look forward to, Ashley.
Yeah, you get it, you little nympho.
I love, I know Ashley and I, but I do not see Ashley becoming that. I mean, I could be wrong, but do you imagine?
Maybe she will. You never know.
Yeah.
She's got like 4 months to decide. So she's a woman. Your clock is ticking.
She's pulsating. She's like, da-dum. This.
Is it 4 months?
I no.
What month is it now? March. It's almost April. May, June, July, August. Yeah. Woo.
Yeah.
See you in August.
Not me. Don't look at me.
I was referring to.
She's gonna become dirty. I'm like,
No, I mean like from last week, where it's like coming in earlier.
Oh, great! He's like, tons of strangers coming in now.
I'm gonna bark at every one of them. I would really like to sit back, but you take your time, bud.
I'm just glad with you because usually he's laying over here with me.
Yeah, that's true. I've been watching a lot of movies I haven't watched.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to not watch movies that I've watched.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it took me a minute. I'm like,
Ooh,
I just saw Wicked. It was really good.
Was it Wicked good?
No, it really was. I really was afraid. I didn't see the play, and I knew I wanted to see the play. I know you guys went to see it, and I know Ashley because I think she saw it like 10 times or something. Didn't she see this?
I don't think it's 10 times,
but she went a few times. Yeah. And I feel like there's one year I'm going to see Wicked again. I'm like, damn, lady, how many times can I see this? But
I think I've only seen it twice.
which that's still. But I was like, I don't know, and I don't hate Grande. I don't hate her, but she's not like, oh, I can't wait to watch her. And I was just kind of like, and then when I watched, I was like, wow, this is really, really good. There was only one complaint that I had, but I thought the one
It's too
complaint.
long.
No, it wasn't long enough. I thought, well, no, but my
Well, it's part
biggest
2 coming soon.
yes, but it was one complaint that I was like, oh, that doesn't really make sense to me, but we'll let it go. Like you know how that one, um, I love that Jeff Goldblum is the wizard, but I feel like he's too old because how old would he be when the Wizard of Oz happened?
Mm.
Because this is a
Yeah.
prequel,
That's right.
and so I'm like, wow, and I'm not trying to make fun of the man.
Well, he's a wizard. He can be forever.
Yeah, but he's not a real wizard. He's a human that gets crashed.
He's a
And
real
we all
wizard.
know that. You never seen the Wizard of Oz?
No, I have.
Oh, he's a
No,
regular.
I
He's just a
have.
con man.
I
Oh, there is a Franco did a
James
James Franco did a
or the other one?
series. No, James Franco
Okay.
did a series of when like a prequel when the wizard lands, and it was so good. It was like on the Sci-Fi Channel or one of those channels. And I'm trying to think where it is, but it's so good. And I keep telling Shannon we have to watch this because it was like one of those
She's only seen Wicked one time.
no way. No way. Then
I've
what's
gone
the
to
one?
a lot of musicals over the
But what's
last
the one
couple
she
of years
watched?
because of my PPAC subscription. But Wicked was only when Mom and Dad took the 3 of us years ago.
Then what's the one she went to like 3 times and I was like I thought it was Wicked.
What'd you see 3 times?
Or something like that. I'm not saying it was 3 times, but
Yeah.
it was like I felt like she went quite a few and she's like I feel like she went with your father and mother and then she went with another time. I feel like there was on I was like and I remember seeing it I'm like, are you going to this again? Like on Facebook. She's like, it was all fake. It was
know.
the same picture.
Did she post that stuff?
Yeah.
Like my sister? Or are we
Oh.
having like a whole grandfather thing?
Come on. That is so not fair. He has an odd last name.
I know.
The guy has
But
that.
his name is James.
Yeah. But I thought, forget it.
You
You're busting my chops. You are so busting my chops. And I said, I asked if he had a brother. Jesus. I can't with you.
Somebody else did that though. To me,
And just for,
somebody else was like,
his last name isn't that common. Now, we're not talking about Smith.
no, I know.
So, I mean, the
No,
fact
I'll
that
give it to you.
someone
I'm
else
just
has a
busting
last
your
name,
ass, so.
I know, but everyone else is like, what? No.
I was talking to someone today, and they're like, "Oh, your parents post a lot about like what's going on in the world," and I was like, "My
What?
parents posting
You're
about the
word?
politics? Like,
Oh.
no, they're not. I've not seen anything about politics.
No. Last post I saw from your father was
About his shows.
VAV
Take your time.
FW
There you go,
performance.
buddy.
The sign that said
yeah. He just posted
Broken
about the band.
Roses, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I
The
sang it.
Broken Roses.
Yes.
Yes.
The other.
Well, they had to change the name because of a little drama, you know. It went from Broken Roses to the Broken Roses.
Did it really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought you were being funny, but I didn't know.
No, they had to change it.
Okay.
That's a story for later.
Copyright.
I don't post about the shows I go to. So yeah, it wasn't her.
So
the
wait
most
a
I've
minute.
ever gone to any musicals was twice, and I think it was Hamilton.
All right. So who's posting it? It must be your mother. Because see,
Gotta
here's the
be.
trick, though. I'm friends with the whole family,
Yeah.
so easily.
So you're just like, oh, Jeffords, like it's all.
No. No. But your mom posts going to PPAC. I'm just saying, you
Yeah.
know, and then all of a sudden, you know, they tag one or two of you, and then I see the same thing. I could easily thought it because that ends up happening a lot. Because there was a period that you guys went to the PPAC a lot. I felt like you guys were going to see a musical. I'm talking. I felt like Ashley did.
Well, Ashley
she
has
had the
season
packet.
pass.
So I felt
But
like
so
it was
my mom.
So I felt like I kept seeing those things. Not that it's a bad thing. I'm not judging.
No, I'm not saying it was.
But it was really good. That was the only thing that I could said. It didn't make sense to me. Was the wizard being? I'm like, dude, he's old here.
Yeah.
Should have been a little bit younger because this is such a prequel, and they make him a normal guy. He's a normal guy, so it's not like he's a wizard.
Yeah.
Because basically, we already know he's a con man. So when we see him, you go, "Oh, he's a con man." My dad had a good twist on it. Yeah, I can't say it because I feel like it almost ruins the movie.
I've
If you
seen
haven't
the
seen
play.
Yeah, but I don't know if the play is just like the movie Into Big Spider.
It is lengthwise.
And I've always said that.
Always.
But okay, so
Wicked overlaps with the Wizard of Oz timeline.
overlaps? Okay, because at the end. Okay, so now we're going to get all technical about this shit. Do we have enough time before I get into
I have
this?
no idea. It's 55.
Okay, good. So in Wicked, it starts off with the witch. The witch is dead
In Wicked.
in Wicked, and you see the four main characters of Wizard of Oz going back to the wizard with the broom.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that when they go back to the wizard to give her the witch's broom and
It's
says
been a
it's
while.
dead? Get the hell out of here! Oh, because I was like, come on, you just said you've seen it, and how you're like, I don't remember.
Go ahead.
Okay, so and then it goes to Linda.
Good girl, Linda.
No, it's
Linda.
Glinda. And then she talks about, oh, well, in school we knew each other, so that means we go back to when they went to school. So did that just happen last year with school? Like, if it's a flashback, my brain to the Wizard of Oz, she was an older lady, Glinda. She was an older, beautiful lady, like coming down in the bubble. Like she wasn't Ariana, and I always thought like she's older. Because my head, I always go Wizard of Oz, and I know they're not exactly, but it's in the same kind of like time loop there. So I always go, okay, I'm seeing her now, but she's supposed to be older, like the Wizard of Oz. She doesn't look like she's a lot older, but she goes like, well, I knew her a long time in school, and I went, okay, so
I think
now
they're around the same age as each other, though.
Yes. So I always thought
Why is there so much hair in my mouth?
I've always said that.
Anyways.
Price of being gay.
We love a forest.
Bushwhacker 101. So I always just assume when he goes, well, I knew her in school. And school always meant to me, and especially when she's like, I have no powers, and I have, so I'm like, so this isn't last year. This has to be at least 10 years ago or 5 years ago. That's what my brain thinks all the time. Because there's no way that she's like this, oh, you had the power all along. Like, I can make bubbles and I can do this, I can do that. And it was like, oh, I figured this all last year out. 5 minutes ago.
It took me 1 year to figure it out.
Dorothy landed.
Count them, 1 year.
She's in the Emerald City.
Living.
Well, don't forget, and the lion is a cub.
Mm-hmm.
And the two people haven't been changed yet.
Mm-hmm.
So in my head, and I say two people because we got Tin Man, but in my head, the lion has to still grow up. So that can't be. It has to be.
They grow fast. Count them, 1 year.
Well, technically, lions every 7 years.
Wicked spans about 40 years, but the Wizard of Oz occurs in the second half of the story.
Wait a minute, 40 years? So there's a 40-year difference between school and when the Dorothy lands? So how old is this effing wizard? Don't forget, it's
rude to ask. He's an older man.
But he's not.
He's a gentleman.
Like, he's not a munchkin. He's a man who got caught with his balloon. So how, like, it was 110?
Actually. So the characters have to span a large age span. What? Have to span a large age span. Did I send you that video of like the girl who did it?
No.
Okay.
Hold on. Breathe. I got no effing comments over here. So Ashley's like talking to you.
Okay. So wait.
It says a large. I thought it said 40-year span. Oh yeah, it did up the top. Wicked span of 40 years.
Some characters have span a large age span. Okay.
Long time. He around long time.
There's a girl who's like, she wanted to be an artist or whatever, but she doesn't have a knuckle runner.
So it's straight out.
So it's...
Okay, breathe. Hey, roast those up gang signs. So what? You're crying? Oh my god! This is happening right now.
I think I saved it so you can watch it.
Okay, we'll watch it as soon as it's over.
And it cuts to a guy.
Oh my god! Okay, you're gonna hit your straw and you're gonna poke your eye out.
I can't if I'm covering it. I was like, is that the equivalent to having...
You can't even get it out. I want to laugh with you, but
a lisp in sign language.
hey, what? What sign
A
language?
lisp.
A lisp. Sign language.
Oh my god.
Too
when you
far.
watch the video, it's gonna be so much better.
Yeah, I think so too.
What the fuck were we talking about?
We're talking about the Wizard of Oz. And I did the sign language to be funny.
Okay.
Yeah, but my thing is how old is he? That was the only thing that I kind of went, this doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But everything else, because I can when you see the lion in the thing, in the cage, you go, oh, that, because I don't know about you, but I watched that movie looking for every clue on who's who and what's what. Like, I look for everything, even when she takes the red slippers off the thing, and it's not the red ruby slipper, but it looks just like them.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't want those, and you're like, oh, I got that. You know, like I look for all those things, even to a point. Shannon's like, are you even watching the movie? Or are you just looking for? I'm like, I'm looking for.
I'm here for the Easter eggs.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was like.
That's why you didn't get the timeline.
Well, okay, so I don't know.
sweating.
I don't know about the second half, but we know in the very beginning that the woman that's married to the mayor of Munchkinland, or governor, whatever he was, I think it was the mayor, was drinking this green elixir, partying with a man, and then gets pregnant. And my dad said, oh, you know who it was? And I said, no, it was just a tall, skinny man. And he goes, you didn't recognize the voice? And I was like, no. He's like, it's the wizard. And then all of a sudden it was like, I was like, oh, he got her pregnant. And I was like, did he get her pregnant purposely to get in the elixir so she would have the power to do what he wants her to do? I don't want to ruin the movie for everybody, but later on, like, oh, I was like, so good. And it was right in the beginning too. It was like that. I love when
you weren't ready for the Easter eggs.
Yeah, that I didn't know that.
You were looking at the time word at that point.
Why was he younger then?
I just said after research, this is what I've come
Oh,
up with.
research. She did.
She's stopped caring about us. She went into research mode.
She went to Google.
She didn't know anything about the video. I believe the books Nessa and Elphaba are 14 and 17, and they start at Shiz. They start at Shiz.
Excuse you.
And see, what's the F1?
Ferrario, yep. Which is
being 18. I could be misremembering. I think the musical age everyone up a bit because of by the end. Oh, Seymour.
Right. That's what she wrote. Seymour.
Right. What's the next one? I fall for this every time.
She's like Seymour. Click. No, Seymour. Oh.
Because by the end of Act 2, they're all like 23 to 24.
Oh, I gotcha. All right.
Not to give too many spoilers for the people who've already watched it.
Well, no. I haven't seen the second half, so yeah.
But I'm pretty sure there's not a huge difference between age difference between Elphaba and Dorothy.
Okay.
Jack says.
Yeah.
Jack Hopefully, no spoilers for you.
Hey, easy with fingering me on the
Yeah.
on the podcast. You haven't bought me dinner yet. I'm easy. I'm cheap. McDonald's, but still,
Yeah.
I have standards.
Dollar menu. Is there still?
It's like a $2 menu.
Oh,
What the fuck was
it's like
it?
the dollar store. We're a
Yeah.
$1.25 store now.
Yeah. And so by the time you go in there and buy something, you're like, that's $5. I'm like, this is a dollar store?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is $5. Then why is it in the dollar store?
Stupid. Anyways, it's about that time. Hi, Jack. Bye, Jack. Jack said nope.
Yeah, no, it was a good movie though. I tell you, you should watch it. It's really well made.
I watched a lot of movies from like a long time ago.
Yeah,
so-
no. But I know.
I don't know if I can commit to that right now because I want the second one.
Okay.
So I'll wait for the second one
okay,
and then I'll watch.
but then
both.
you watch both of them because it's really worth watching. It was well made. Like some of them, I'll go like that. No, Snow White. Not watch that.
Yeah,
Not watching Snow White. And I'm sorry, there's so many things, and I know it's awoke, but it put me to sleep.
You haven't even watched it. Smoke break.
There's a lot
Smoke
of.
for me. So sorry, what?
Listen, you already get a puff puff.
Yeah. Puff puff.
Smoke if you have one.
Puff puff. Puff puff. Puff puff. Oh, you want to pass? No. Buy one get one boneless wings at B-Dubs.
Nope.
Nice.
Too bad you don't have. Imagine if he lived locally, we'd totally be like, "Hook us up, bro."
Dude, you need to come by.
And I've always said that.
I've always said that. Come be part of the podcast. You can sit on the hump.
Man, you don't give out that hump to many people.
Know.
So
I haven't had anyone yet.
not even your sister. You
this
just
is
you just
labeled
shit in her
Jack.
house and don't flush, but you don't get the hump
Right?
because she's dirty.
She's
Almost 30.
She's almost a woman. I know.
Mm.
We don't want that up there.
No.
Okay, gotta get love you.
She's
Bye.
a woman. Bye.
Bye.